How's it going, folks? And you're very welcome along to the Motorcycle Hour podcast, where we talk all things motorcycling. A quick shout out to our sponsors, Terence Healy Motorcycles Tullamore, your main Honda dealer for the Midlands. City Spares Motorcycling, Cherry Orchard Industrial Estate Dublin, your Honda and Suzuki agent. And motorcyclingtraining.ie, your one-stop shop for all your motorcycle training needs. Before we kick it off, we do want to give a reminder that this podcast is intended for audience of 18 years and older. So just remember this when deciding where and when you listen. How's it going, folks? And you're very welcome back to the Motorcycle Hour podcast. We are on episode number 57. We're
no point in asking him. He gets past 10, he's big off his boots.
If he wants to count to 20, he has to count to 10 twice. He liked that one. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
there we go.
Ooh,
That's not very fucking nice. We've a cameraman in studio here as well. Ross McQuaid is here.
Ross McQuaid.
Shows the
All right,
cameraman.
Ross,
Shows the cameraman. Swing it around there.
Yes,
Watch this. Watch this.
Hey!
Don't mind me, folks. I'm trying just not to break this.
And again, you know, if you want to keep the kids away from the fridge, just stick that poster on the fridge.
Exactly. I will put it over the fireplace and they won't go near it, man. So they won't, 100%.
Even Santi won't come down the chimney when he's there.
He probably won't.
That's Brendan on the camera there now.
That's me. Hope you're all keeping well, folks. We're on episode 57, but who would have thought? 57 episodes. We have everyone from British Superbike champions to road racing legends to Isle of Man TT legends and everybody in between we've had on this podcast. So we're delighted. We're going video now as well. So we'll see about editing that.
Hold on, I'm actually going to hold on. Let me just try something here.
What are you going to try and do? Is there filters to make Chad look 10 years younger?
No, if you zoom in, he still looks 5'2".
Well,
There's no filter in the world's going to solve that.
Well, people don't realise that Charlie's actually standing up there.
I could probably throw it
on an orange box.
Oh my God. No, come here. We have a very interesting one on this week. We've got Annie and Brian on from the Gone But Not Forgotten Bikes Memorial with a very, very important message about just a little thing that they need everybody to do. For kind of one of the last kind of parts of the puzzle to get this memorial garden open and get it up and running. It takes 2 minutes. You can jump online and do it. It's very, very straightforward. But the more people that do this, the better. So again, we're going to bring you the interview we done with Annie and Brian very shortly, and they'll talk through the whole process and how it's gone to date. It has been a labour of love for them. In fairness, they have put some serious effort into this. So
we've all done it. I mean, Brendan, we couldn't leave the podcast unless we can't get out this gate or this door unless we had it done. Absolutely,
I had to do it for Charlie.
You have to do it. There's no surprise there. Fairness,
but sure, come here. There's no point having a dog and bark on myself. Give it over.
Settle down,
Give
you
it
little
over.
Yeah, Cha is no good at anything got to do with phones unless there's
anything with electricity.
Yeah, exactly. Unless there's something adult, If it was Dolly Parton on it, you'd rub it out all right. How's things, boys? We're joined, of course, as I didn't introduce. Charlie's here, of course. Charlie's looking fresh, buddy. You were all good, man? Happy?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just mad to see Dolly Parton.
To see a bit of Dolly Parton, boys. Tony, how are you keeping, man?
Yeah, well, good. Living the dream. Playing with bikes all week, so can't complain.
Can't fucking complain with that at all. Roscoe McQuaid, how are you keeping, my good brother?
I'm sound, man.
Can we want to put it out there, right? Ross needs to get a new bike, okay? Because the Phaser is a smashing bike in the whole lot, but he's thinking of doing some good spins next year.
Yeah.
So he's in the market for something newish.
You are.
And you've been looking at the FGR 1300s?
Yeah, there's a lot of them kicking around that are clean and not mental money.
Not mental money for what they are. Tony, you've ridden them a couple of times. They're a smashing bike.
Yeah. Cops had a bit on. FGR 13s. The only thing, again, from my bike experience from many years ago, they were prone to seizing the linkage on the rear shock.
Okay.
The earlier models, basically where that mounts up, there was the later models had a needle roller bearing put into it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The older ones didn't have a grease nipple on it.
Okay.
And I believe some of the Gardaí were riding the bikes and the linkage just snapped. because it's seized and it's like he sat down on the back wheel type thing. You know what I mean? So that was the thing was happening with them. So something to look for when
you need the nipple, boys. You have to be able to grease them.
I had to go there, didn't he? I was waiting for that.
Dirty out.
Taking the tone of this conversation.
But there's no point in having a Jesus shot.
There's no point in having a nipple unless you grease it.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to get the podcast up to this level, but you just keep bringing it back down.
But he's no higher than the snake's ankle. So you know what I mean?
But what did I say wrong? I just said you need a nipple.
You need a nipple.
You did.
Yeah, absolutely. You did.
Yeah.
But they are a good bike, the FGR 1300.
Absolutely, yeah.
They're a really nice bike.
Wouldn't mind it going one now. There's a couple of really nice ones. Really clean ones.
If there's any listeners out there that has an FGR 1300, I wouldn't mind maybe Ross just getting a bit of a look at one, get in contact, or any other suggestions. Ross is a semi-experienced rider. He is, well, he's a rider.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
keen.
He's very, very keen.
Full of enthusiasm.
Exactly. You're 6'1", 66'1", about
oddly proportionate. As we discussed later on.
He's only 6'1" with a 29-inch leg man I've ever seen. I don't know what it is, but anyway. But no, definitely get your suggestions in. I know Chaz suggesting the Z1000 SX. Interesting one. I've been doing a bit of research and stuff, looking up some online, and I bought a couple of bike magazines. The new Z1000 SX
is an 1100.
Is an 1100, and it's 6 brake horsepower less than the previous model.
Yeah.
That kind of just makes sense to me. The new SX 1000 is 1100, so you're saying it's actually an 1100.
Exactly, the newest one.
We knew what you were saying. We're hanging on this fella long enough.
I know. You can interpret it, but 6 brake horsepower less. But they've done a serious amount of work on the gear ratios and stuff on it. So
yeah, probably more mid-range, usable.
Yeah, higher in torque.
That's what you need. Yeah, look, look, I know a lot of people will buy their bike on spec and they look at, this one makes, 192 brake horsepower, but this one makes 194 brake horsepower. Mm-hmm. The reality is that's irrelevant.
You're never going to use all of it.
Apart from that, you see, you have to understand it's down to atmospheric pressure on the day, temperature, everything. Do you know what I mean? It's like, again, what you want, what you need is the usable range from, say, 40, well, in all money, from 40 mile an hour, from 60k up to, we'll say, 120, 130k. Yeah. That's where you need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 110%. Yeah. Look, it's. I agree with you, and it's funny. It's something we've spoke about and stuff before, but I always said to myself that it was Gary in Moto Tuning. Said it best when he says that Gary would turn around and he said that people are going into him with a Gixxer 1000 and saying I want to do this, that, other to it. I want to get another 10 or 15 brake horsepower. When the reality of it is, for the vast majority of riders out there,
more than capable.
Yeah, a standard Gixxer 1000, you're never going to ride it to its full potential.
Not on the road anyway.
Exactly.
But
if you want to,
a
man I knew very well that used to tune bikes was John Donnan. Do you know what I mean? And we had this conversation over 20 years. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. And this was the back of the K1s and all that type of stuff. Do you know what I mean? And he said the very same thing. He said, if you have money to spend on your bike, especially with the sports bikes, a couple of grand, he said exactly what you're saying. People want this, that, the other, blah, blah, blah. He said, spend the money on suspension.
Yeah, 100%.
You can have all the power you want. If you can't transfer it to the road, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
Again, chatting to Kevin again, same thing. They figured out about the traction control in Alton Park. Do you know what I mean? Full power and no traction control. So even when he was in Cookstown, why he was spinning up, going up by the farm and all that. Massive power, but you can't put it to power. Can't put it to road.
Yeah, 100%. Wasn't it? So, I don't know. There was a rally driver or something interviewed once, I think, and he was asked the question, "What's the difference between horsepower and torque?" And he says, he said it like horsepower is basically how fast you're going when you hit the wall, and torque is how far you push the wall.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. But it is. It's one of those things to say. I just was reading up on the new Z1000, Z1100. But it's interesting.
We saw them in Birmingham last year.
We did. Yeah. But it scores very well. We're going to talk more about all things motorcycles, and there's a few little bits and pieces that I did learn over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That are going to hit you with. But before we do all that, I think we'll bring you this interview with Annie and Brian from Gone But Not Forgotten.
Yeah, we get back to it then on the second part of the show.
Sounds like a plan, boys. Over we go. So Brian and Annie from Gone But Not Forgotten Bikers Memorial. Folks, I want to give an absolute massive welcome to the crew, the brains and the diehards behind the Gone But Not Forgotten Bikers Memorial. Annie and Brian, great to have you on the podcast. I know it must be heading for 12 months now since we had you on the last time, I think. Will I be right in saying that, or close enough to it anyway?
Getting up on that, yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
Tell us, you have been very, very busy, and actually since the last time we had you on, we actually went up ourselves to the Bikers Memorial Mass in Clonus back. When was that? That was in, when does that usually be? May. May. Exactly. It was around the same weekend as our rally. But
I brought you for a bit of a long spin, actually.
Yeah.
Prez was delighted with that.
Oh my God. Tony knew the shortcut to get there.
No, I didn't say that. I said I knew brilliant roads on the way up there. You have to say they were a great road.
You said this is the quickest way up. It was not the quickest way up.
But that's because the roads are so good.
Tell that to our president, who was absolutely in bits with a sore hip on the bike. But anyway, that's a whole other story. But before we kick it, I do have to say, hats off to you. It's absolutely phenomenal. That was my first time at the Mass, and it was just something special. It was just unbelievable to see such a turnout. And then you think of all the people that were there, and you kind of can't help but think, have they had somebody close to them, that has, lost their life off a motorcycle or something. But the whole place and the venue and Clonus and the church and everything, it is something very, very special about that Mass every year,
Well, thank you very much for that.
No, it is. It's an absolute credit to you. Tell us this. So since the last time we had you on, this was kind of you had been working very, very hard in the background to make this dream a reality and to have a dedicated Bikers Memorial in Clonus. At the last time we spoke, you were kind of in the midst of trying to get some fundraising going. So talk us through it. How did that process go, and how did you get on?
We started fundraising for the project last July, and closed the fundraising on the 13th of December. Last year, we raised €66,000 in 5 months.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, it went well, thankfully. Now, I have to say the first month was nail biting stuff, but
yeah.
After that, it picked up and it went with speed, and it was great. In actual fact, when we closed donations, we, as a committee, we had said, what we were going to stop at, and we got that. So we closed donations, and we were turning donations away, even up until the Bikers Memorial in May gone by. But we had said what our goal was, and we didn't want to go over. So yeah, that was.
Yeah, look at it. It's a big undertaking. We said we wanted to raise 65,000. That's an awful lot of money. As Anne-Marie said, the first month was hard work. But definitely after the first month was over, I think the word had got out. It took a wee while to get the word spread around. And in all honesty, for that next 5 months, we really didn't have to do a huge amount insofar as people contacted us. We had an awful lot of people who contacted us and said, look, I want to donate to that, or we want to donate, or a group or motorcycle club wanted to do it. So we had actually people coming to us rather than us going out knocking on doors or selling tickets. The 66,000 that Anne-Marie said was raised, there wasn't a single ticket sold in that. There was there was no, you could win this if you give us a few pounds. This was purely people who donated money because they liked the idea and they will visit it, and it's a good thing for what we're trying to achieve, and that was it. It's just straightforward donations.
Well, look at us. We did say it on the podcast. It's kind of, I suppose, almost in a way, kind of surprising that something like this hasn't happened already. But I suppose it's one of those things. It's only when somebody mentions the idea that it kind of gets the gears turning over, and it is a fantastic idea. It really is. Like I say, the biker community, there's nothing better than to have a place or a donation to go, or a destination to go on a spin, and there's nothing more rewarding, I suppose, than to go for a spin to a Bikes Memorial. I think it is a fantastic idea, and I think probably a lot of people realised that and got behind that. And even, I suppose, like sometimes we've done fundraisers and stuff and organising, trying to get money for lads riding bikes and racing bikes and so on and so forth. And you're kind of really typically depending on people that have an interest or a background in motorcycles. But I suppose with the Biker Memorial Garden, it kind of does probably, it goes out to a much wider community, because you don't necessarily, a lot of people have been affected by, somebody lost somebody in a motorcycle accident that might necessarily be into bikes themselves, but would probably quite happily throw a few bob towards it. So I suppose you were in one way, you were probably lucky that way, But I couldn't believe it ourselves. We spoke here about just how quick the money was donated and thrown in. It warmed the cockles of your heart. It was unbelievable.
We sat. I never forget. We had a huge meeting with well-known bikers that we knew or whatever, to try and gain momentum to throw out ideas for fundraising and stuff. And I'll never forget, a couple of them said, "Oh, you'll not do that within a year, maybe 2 years, And then for it to go so fast, it was shocking for everybody, but it was great.
It was absolutely brilliant. It was class. So then, obviously, talk us through, what was the next step then when you reached your targeted goal? What was the next step then? I know this has been a fairly laborious job you've undertaken, and I don't take it for granted. I'm sure it was a lot of long nights and scratching heads.
Yeah, look, the next step was obviously, originally, just when we were talking about the whole, we actually assumed that the fundraising would be the most difficult part of it. As Annie said, the fundraising turned out to be definitely not the most difficult part. So once we had that money in, we were already in discussions with Monaghan County Council. And I have to say here again that Monaghan County Council have been brilliant. We have a great working relationship with them. They've done a lot of good for what we have been trying to achieve. So we were back with Monaghan County Council then, knowing before Christmas, we knew the money was going to be there. As Anne-Marie said, we closed the fundraising in December. We had already started a process just before we got to the closing point of the donations, where we were working with Monaghan County Council in an attempt to advertise and procure an artist, a sculptor to design the memorial that we want. And that in itself is a long and hard process. There's
a
lot of ideas thrown back and forth and all. Now, and we are not designing this ourselves. We are motorcycles. We ride bikes. We love riding bikes. Mm-hmm. We're not artists. We're not designers. We're not part of designing these things. That said, we kind of know what we want. Mm-hmm. But it will be a professional artist, a professional sculptor who will design this, who will produce it, and ultimately will erect it in its spot in Clones in the future. So we had started off, just before we closed the fundraising, we had started off that process of seeking an artist. It was done initially through a system that all local authorities used, called e-tenders.
Yep.
We were advised at the time that probably would be the best system to use, and we went with that. It produced results to a degree. We got 5 different artists made submissions, 5 different designs came to us. We obviously, that process took a number of weeks to get to the point before the designs come in. The designs come in, and I look at, again, credit to the 5 artists who put in them designs. They put an awful lot of work into it. It's not just about designing the sculpture that you want, the sculpture that we're looking to get. It was about producing costs for that sculpture, for producing safety statements, for producing, like, it's a very laborious task for them as well as that. So we had 5 designs come in, and we went through them, we discussed them with our own colleagues on the Bikers Memorial Committee. We have a subcommittee that's dealing directly with this, so we brought it back to our larger committee. We obviously discussed it with our colleagues in Monaghan County Council, and look at just of the 5 designs that were submitted at that point. So that would have been late November of last year to 2024. Of the 5 designs, look, we just weren't happy with the 5 of them. There wasn't one that stood out. Now, I was disappointing in one way, but I also think it was quite good in another way, insofar as it showed that we're not actually trying to do this just to get it done. Everybody that was a part of this, our subcommittee, the wider Bikers Memorial Committee, and the members of Monaghan County Council who are dealing directly with it, all of us were in agreement that we want to do this thing, but we want to do it right. And just the designs, great that they were, they just weren't what we were looking for.
Mhm.
So unfortunately, that process, we didn't take any of it, so that process came to an end. So that meant we had to start again. So unfortunately, that's what we had to do. So we did
Okay,
start
yeah.
again. Now we did make one decision at the time that we decided that e-tenders probably wasn't the best vehicle for it. E-tenders is a great vehicle for people that are submitting tenders for resurfacing a road or building
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
easy measurements and easy things you can take to decide which one's better than the other. This is art. This is not. It's very hard to quantify, and certainly
Mhm.
mathematical figures doesn't do it. So e-tenders is probably not the way to go. So we did start again in January of this year, 2025. We sent out another tender document, not through e-tenders, and we shared that around. Monaghan County Council staff brought it among the different cultural groups and artist groups that they were in contact with. And I have to say that brought in a much bigger response from
Okay.
artists. We had, well, Anne-Marie took a lot of the contacts from that.
Yeah, there was a lot of interest in it. It was definitely the route to go.
Mhm.
You just knew that you were going to have a lot more applications to have to sit through once the closing date came,
I know what you mean. Yeah. And sorry, did you kind of at the start give them kind of a rough idea on what you want, or was it just kind of open to their own
Give them
interpretation?
a brief just and let them come back with whatever they deciphered from that.
Yeah.
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 One of the sort of difficulties about what we're trying to do, you can't be too specific, simply
Mhm.
because you're directing an artist down a particular road. And let's face it, if you're going to be specific, well, then why wouldn't you design it yourself? And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So we're not designing it. So you have to keep the brief sort of wide, which allows the artist the leeway to take their interpretation of it. And I mean, this is what we want, because obviously, look, at artists have a way of doing things, a way of seeing things that's different to the way I would.
Mhm.
And that's what we want. We want something special. We want something that people come and see. We want them to, well, very, very importantly, we want them to be uplifted by it. We want them to come and feel, that is something really good, something that they can leave the area with a smile on their face after remembering their loved one in the good times, not the bad times, in the good times. So bring them back to the good memories of when their loved one was alive, riding bikes and enjoying life. So
It's definitely something that we want. It's the celebration of the biker's life rather than like we all have graveyards to go to. But we don't want something like that or
No, for sure.
doom and gloom. It's all about a celebration of a biker's life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a great idea. Like, make it, yeah, exactly. Make it exactly that. Make it exactly like as you said there, and very well put. To be fair, we all have graveyards that unfortunately we have to visit, or we visit from time to time. But yeah, somewhere to go, and as we spoke about before, it'd be nice to go somewhere. And we've lost, all of us that sit here at this table. We've all lost friends off motorbikes and stuff, unfortunately. But it's nice to be able to go to somewhere like that and sit there and think of the spins and think of the good times and think of the crack. And it kind of gives you a reason to reflect on those people in a positive light.
That's exactly what we're aiming for.
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So what stage are we at now? So you've gotten a couple. Has that since been closed? Have we got a definitive design or?
I tell you that there's many a twist and turn on the road, as motorbikers will know.
Okay.
Right, so we did start that process in January.
Mhm.
As both said, and Anne-Marie, talked about it. There was a really, really good uptake of interest. The message of what we were trying to do got out wider. The artist pool of people interested was much bigger, and we got great feedback, great questions coming. Now, there was also, in the process of doing this, there was a site visit arranged for 2 different Mondays, the last Monday of February and the first Monday of March of this year. So in total, I think we had 9 artists who had put in an interest to come and meet us at the site. So the site visit was obviously where the memorial we hope will be erected. It was also an opportunity for the artists to have a chat with us and sort of, put questions to us and, try and figure out, I suppose, from their own point of view, if they could get an idea of roughly, or a better idea of what we want along with the brief that obviously all the artists get together. So that process had started. It was flying, I have to say. We were very, very happy with it.
The pig's back, or so we thought.
Or so we thought.
I'm loving where this is going. And then
then we met with a number of artists on the first Monday of March, and unfortunately we got some rumours going on the late evening of that there was some complaints had come in from a small number of local residents, and Monaghan County Council were looking at them, and the next thing on Tuesday we got the word that Monaghan County Council had decided, without discussing with us, that they were going to pause it. So the process was paused.
Jesus Christ.
Again, look, at Monaghan County Council have been great, and we're working with them, and we're still working very closely with them. The project was paused; it wasn't stopped, and it isn't stopped. We're still working away on it. So then that was March, and we're into a couple of processes that some of the complaints, lads, was around, some people said they didn't know that this thing was coming about. The site that we have identified is in the vicinity of a children's play park, which is ideal for us because we envisage people coming in cars who have lost a loved one, who have obviously lost a young, say, a man or a woman, and there's young children left behind. So the play park being beside that is actually, we specifically looked to get that site because of it, because it would be an advantage to people coming. The adult can sit and think of the good times and look at the sculpture and, get back into that good time and good thoughts of their loved one, while, the children are literally 20 metres away in an enclosed play park, enjoying the swings and enjoying the stuff that children want.
Absolutely, yeah, makes perfect sense. Yep.
So that was a complaint that came in, that it was close to this play park and that people thought that it wasn't appropriate for it. There was, as I said, the other one was that some people didn't know about it, and we feel we could easily deal with them things, and we thought possibly at the time that it wasn't the right decision to pause it, but this was a decision taken without really our input, and it was paused. So while we disagreed with it, we did have a meeting with members of Monaghan County Council staff and explained why we disagreed with it. But look, the decision was taken, and that's where we were. So we moved on. We moved on because the process is still going. It's only a pause, and look, we have to look to it. Everybody needs to, I suppose, deal with their own issues and deal with their own responsibilities. And if Monaghan County Council at the time felt that was the way to do it, so we're just going to have to play ball with that, and that was that end of it.
Do you think, I suppose, just, from what I'm seeing, do you think maybe some of these concerns or complaints, I suppose, would be people maybe looking at too many, Hollywood movies depicting bikers as these big, burly, scary, antisocial people? Do you think, was there an element to that, or is it just people with some, I suppose, genuine concerns?
Well, look, we're very careful in what we say about all of this. I think your first point is probably true to a degree. I think there is a certain misunderstanding of the biking community. I think that, yes, I wouldn't disagree with that. But we also say that, look, if people have concerns, we respect the right to have a concern. They're entitled to their opinion, and if they believe it's the wrong place, well, then that's fine. I think we don't have a problem with that. I think we do, maybe when you get into the details of some of the complaints or concerns that were raised, we believe that they're not valid. We believe there's very easily explanations as to from our point of view as to why that's the case. That it shouldn't. These concerns aren't really like that. It's not Hollywood. It's not, and even down to bikes coming to noise and stuff like that. I mean, the site that we had been working with Monaghan County Council on is literally next to the N54 National Primary Road that runs from Cavan to Monaghan, right through Clonus on town. So it's a national primary road. So if the noise of bikes pulling into the car park on this site was a problem, well, I mean, the noise of bikes and the noise of lorries on the N54 that drive down by the play park would be an issue as well.
Absolutely,
now,
yeah.
for many, many years, and that has never been a case. So, look, we believe we can answer the different concerns. In terms of the concerns about people not knowing that, it was sprang on them or whatever, again, we believe that that's incorrect, that we have done everything above board and very public. I mean, this was the first time it went public was in November of 2022, which is almost 3 years ago now. And that was at a Monaghan County Council meeting where the local newspaper reporter reported the whole discussion at our request for a site, for this memorial, and the 5 local councillors unanimously supporting it. And we did state at the time that we wanted it close to the newly refurbished. Now, at this time, the canal wasn't there.
Okay.
It hadn't been built, the canal marina that makes it such a very scenic spot. That hadn't actually time. So we had gone public on that. We had used our own social media to highlight the fact that this is what we were trying to do. We spoke on the local radio station numerous times. Both myself and Anne-Marie, during the fundraising, we done a family fun day. I spoke on Northern Sound, invited people from Clonus that if they had any concerns, all of the committee would be there, that every single one of us were there that day. Anybody was available to talk and explain our aims, and obviously to listen to any concerns that people had. Anne-Marie echoed that 2 weeks later, invited people down twice. And in fairness, we did have 2 people came and spoke to me on their concerns about it. So people did hear the radio broadcast, did hear that we were inviting them down to explain our plans, and took the opportunity. Now, that was August 2024. And as I say, the complaints were there. We knew, because look, in anything, we've all been involved in different groups and organisations and developments of different stuff. You just can't possibly please 100% of people.
No.
So you expect some complaints, and we expected it. So we were trying to sort of get out in front of it and offer the opportunity at that stage. So I think the argument that we hadn't done enough to notify people, obviously we had worked through our local representatives, all of the councillors. We have, in that local area of Clonus, it's the Ballybay Clonus Municipal District, there's 5 councillors. There's 2 Sinn Féin, 2 Fine Gael and 1 Fianna Fáil member for the Ballybay Clonus Municipal District. All 5 of them we've discussed with it on numerous occasions. All 5 of them, in all fairness to them, there has been 4 different votes in the local municipal district meetings where all 5 of them have voted to support us on the site. So
brilliant. Yeah.
We have done all of that. But there was then a question thrown in as to how Monaghan County Council give the site or offered the site to us. So Monaghan County Council, when they paused it, they had a wee, I suppose, review of their own position and decided that the best thing to do would be to call in an independent consultant firm and get the consultant firm to highlight all the sites within Clonus that could possibly be used for this memorial.
Okay.
And then score them and come out with a recommendation of 3 sites. And out of the 3 sites, then there'd be further discussion as to which one of the 3 sites would be the best. So that was that again took time.
I can imagine a lot of these councils and stuff, things don't happen as quick as they do in the, let's say, the private sector, but I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I think, look, at most of us, that if you know what you want to do and you know how to do it, you find ways of going out and doing it.
Yeah.
And that's within a small organisation. When you're within a bigger organisation and working with that bigger organisation, look, at the wheels move a wee bit slower.
Yeah.
So that process went through. There was 20 sites. I look at some of them. I don't know why they were even included in it, but the 20 sites were scored and assessed and all the rest of it, and they ended up with 3 sites. So the 3 were done. The local that report was then handed back to the 5 county councillors at a meeting in. When would that have been? August? July. No, July, actually, because of the meeting up for the him off. So they met in July, and they decided at that meeting, look, there's 3 sites. They were all very, very close in the scoring of the marking that the consultancy firm gave. And they decided that, yeah, we will discuss this further. We will go to a public consultation process.
Okay. And
Now you're up.
this is where we arrive at now.
This is where we are now.
Okay, yeah. So basically, so obviously, so it's coming down to that. So you obviously, when I was chatting to you, and you sent me on the link, so what they're actively looking for, I suppose, is for people to go on. Anybody can go on, and I'd urge everybody to go on. And I think first thing I'd say is the quickest way I actually found it was if you just go on to do a Google search and you just type in Gun or Bikers Memorial Monaghan, then it'll bring you to the link, on the Monaghan County Council website. It is very, very straightforward. It literally takes 2 minutes. Just stick with it. You've got to go on and you have to create an account. It's as simple as putting in your name, your air code, and an email address, and that is it. Then the whole process of actually, putting in a submission literally takes a couple of minutes. You could type for hours if you wanted it, but it's more so realistically. I'm right in saying so. They've got 3 options, I suppose, for where the memorial could be erected, and they just want feedback from people as to where they believe is the most suitable one and why it's the most suitable one.
Yeah.
Now, give us the three areas there, Brian, if you would, of where they're looking to have this, or the 3 possibilities, I suppose.
Right. The first one starts off. It's the junction of Church Hill and the Rosslea Road. It's basically a car park on the Rosslea Road out of Clonus. It's in the middle of town. It's actually for everybody that has travelled to the annual Bikers Memorial in the Sacred Heart Church. You would pass this graveyard if you're coming from the town side, or this car park, sorry, if you're coming from the town side. So that's the first.
A car park, sorry. I'm not sure if you can hear me there. I just lost your audio there for a second. We hopefully have you back there. I'm not sure if we've got a bit of an internet issue on my side or your side. Can you hear me there now, guys?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry, we just lost you there for a second. Sorry, so you were saying, so the first option is a car park as such?
Well, the first option is, it's the Rosslea Road and Church Hill Junction. The nearest landmark to it it's literally the car park beside Clonus Cooperative Mart. And
okay.
Yeah. To be honest, we're not that endeared to it, and we would definitely be saying to people who are completing the consultation process to just look at not suitable. That's as good as answer as you need to put. You don't need to.
It's really, it's on a junction. It's unsafe. You're losing car parking spaces because you're taking the car park away to create the garden. Yeah. Minimal park, and the road itself is shocking if you're coming on a bike. I have to go out that road to visit my mother, and I don't really like it. No, not suitable.
No, for sure. And again, you are putting an awful lot of work and effort into this, and I'm sure the end design is going to be something really special, and it needs to be framed in a suitable location,
Yeah, I think if you put them, in fairness to Monaghan County Council, there's a huge effort on their behalf. There's going to be a very significant budget put into these gardens to surround the sculpture, the chosen sculpture. So within that, I'm sure the garden would be beautiful. But as Anne-Marie says, the junction, there's an issue because there's no runoff area. There's no area if you're bringing children, to us now. Obviously, you would be trying to design it that wouldn't happen, but it's really too close to a very busy junction is our argument. But on top of that, it's beside an active mart, beside an agricultural cooperative store that large vehicles in and out 6 days, 7 days a week, 6 days a week. So it's not really suitable. If you're looking to sit down, look at a beautiful piece of art in a beautiful surrounding of a new garden that's been made, but you can hear somebody selling 10 heifers,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no.
Probably not the way that you're going to remember your loved one in the best terms. So, look, as I say, we don't need people to write an essay on the sites that we don't really want. Not suitable.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I did. I just wrote in not suitable. That was pretty much exactly I didn't have to go into too much detail as to why, just to specify that, in my opinion, it wasn't suitable.
Yeah.
The next one, and the second one that they ask about is Brian McGuigan Park. Now it's on 90th Avenue, so it's like a big, large, green, grassy area with plenty of room. But again, it's too far away for parking. It's at least 180 meters from the gate itself to the
Okay.
close. And then you're not going to erect a monument or a garden right at any gate. It's going to be further on in, and it's just, you're looking over at buildings, and it's just not, in comparison with what we were working towards with downright at the canal area, it's just not suitable.
I get you.
It's vast, there's too much in it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In terms of it as well, like, if you're building a house yourself and you identify the best site, and then somebody says to you, but you're not going there, I think you should take this site. It's the second best site. And in fairness to Barry McGuigan Park, it's not bad. Like, I mean, you could definitely fit a garden in it.
Yeah.
The space is obviously there, but there's no facilities. As Anne-Marie said, the parking is not on site. There is no toilets at it. It's on the busiest junction. It's at the Monaghan Cross, so it's a traffic light junction for people coming from the Cavan direction towards Monaghan. You're coming down the Monaghan Brae, which is a very steep hill. I used to be a lorry driver pulling 40-foot trailers, and you come down that hill and you press the brakes, and unless you've got a really good mechanic and he has looked after your trailer well, the squeal of brakes coming down that hill again, when you have a memorial site beside it and people in it, we feel it's not the right site. Again, it's best. And, why would you change for second best?
Yeah, 100%. And I suppose it's worth knowing that. I'm sure they're aware with that. Unlike, I suppose, some certain monuments in certain towns, this one is solely, people are going to come directly. So, like, I give an example. Say Westport, for instance. Westport has the huge big statue in the middle of the town, but by and large, people don't go to Westport to visit that statue. So the parking, they're in Westport for the weekend for some of the facilities and stuff, and they'll happen to stroll up to it or whatever the case may be. But this is different in the fact that this memorial is going to bring not just bikers but families from all over Ireland, specifically on that particular day, to see that sculpture and to spend a bit of time with that surrounding. So as you say, you do need facilities there. These people are not going to be staying in hotels and stuff. And if there's facilities there, they'll use them, and rightly so. And there's definitely there's a potential benefit there for local customer, local businesses in the area as well. I'm sure for like coffee shops and stuff like that. So, as the fella said, it's as easy do it once and do it right.
That's it. And we have only one shot at this.
Yeah.
You don't pop up and saying, "Oh, this is wrong."
Yeah. No, absolutely, 100%. Yeah. So then our third and our preferred option then
is Park Football Seamus McCabe.
Yep.
So that's down at the Clonus Marina. As Brian said earlier on, when we envisioned this and when we first approached Monaghan County Council, the canal wasn't there. It was in the process of being built. So we knew that it had potential. We knew that when it was built, that it was going to be up and coming and it was going to be the place that people were going to want to visit. So at the minute, it's finished. There will be further developments for it, but the area itself is finished. There's a beautiful walkway at it. There's a restaurant, there's a coffee dock, there's toilets, there's, as Brian previously mentioned, the play park, which again we feel is very important. And then there's like a recreational area, which that was our proposed site at the start. But then there was issues over the extension of the play park as it is. If we went to that spot, they couldn't extend the play park in time. So with Monaghan County Council's permission, we then said we would move a couple of metres to the right, therefore leaving room for future redevelopment and expansion of the play park, because again, we feel this is very important. So we would be then reclaiming tarmac into a garden and a recreational area. So it has everything. It's got everything in that one spot.
Sounds to me, to be honest with you, like a bit of a no-brainer. From somebody on the complete outside, that sounds like the absolute ideal location for it,
Well, look, We agree 100%. I think that we genuinely we believe this is the best site. We think for all of the reasons that Anne Marie mentioned. In the canal itself at the minute runs just a single kilometre outside of the town, but the second phase of that, or the next phase of that, is in train at the minute, and by 2029 that canal will be connected up to the next section of water, which is at Castle Saunderson, just through from Ananidicave, and at that point it's connected to the Shannon Earn waterway. So literally boats can go from Clonus down to Limerick.
Whoa, that's unreal. I didn't know that. That's unreal. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So look at it. So we're hoping that, again, by 2029, 2030, that you will have people, obviously not only arriving by motorbikes, people arriving in cars, but you will have people who either, one, they know about the memorial that's there, or maybe they just are doing a waterways holiday. They get off the boat in Clonus and they walk up and they go, oh, look at this.
Yeah,
So there will be
for sure.
and who have no prior knowledge of it, and then will go, that's class, and then the next thing, the word of mouth, it goes back, and you would then hopefully be bringing others. And you mentioned the whole idea of staying in hotels. Like, one of the reasons why we really do the canal is again the best site. So it's officially the name of where we hope to place the memorial itself is Park Fubble Seamus McCabe. It's in Irish, it's the Seamus McCabe Community Park. Seamus McCabe was a famous handballer from Clonus Town. He won something like 48 Ulster titles in handball. He won 4 All-Ireland titles. He was a member of Clonus Handball or GAA club. He died only in 2005. So the park is officially named after him. There's also a plaque on the wall of the Ulster Canal stores on the side of the park with a wee commemoration for Seamus McCabe. So so it has a lot of stuff, a lot of good history within it. But it's just it's the beauty of the site. The site is actually gorgeous, and for people to come for specifically for the Bikers Memorial. Look, we're hoping that they'll come if they're travelling a long distance. We're hoping they're going to stay. We hope that they will decide, we're travelling up from County Clare. We'll pull in. We'll get a hotel. There's hotel. There's B&Bs. There's all of that about. They can park up. They can have their dinner in the town. They can stay overnight. They can get up the next morning. Maybe spend another hour at the memorial. Walk the canal. Hop in the car and go home, or hop on the motorbike and go home. So there is actually a local economy boost to all of this too.
Absolutely, yeah. And I would urge, like, I spent a couple of nights down through the years in Clonus, like a great spot. Clonus is mighty. It is a mighty town. It's a beautiful town first and foremost, and I suppose as you're coming into Clonus and stuff, and you can see the church and stuff, it is actually a very, very beautiful town, and the people, of course, are fantastic. Monaghan people are a very special breed of people. Do you know what I mean? But they're in the best way possible. Do you know what I mean? They're just very laid back, but they're very, very friendly. It is a fantastic place, and I know all the County Monaghan. And especially because obviously as they're so close to the border as well, I'm sure it'll draw crowds from both sides, as well. That'll bring a huge influence from the north of Ireland,
And, at the minute, there's a development of a heritage trail within Clonus, because, you have the Round Tower, St. Jairus, the Round Tower. You have a Celtic cross. Again, you're going back hundreds of years that these were built. You have the Clonus Abbey. There's an old castle that actually, it made a bit of news about 15 years ago that it had been discovered. Now, Ulster Television come down to do a wee piece on this discovered castle in Clonus, saying that nobody knew it was there, when in actual fact there was books written about it by Clonus people. It was there in the first place. But anyway, it got a bit more publicity, and so we took it. So yeah, there's a great heritage trail within Clonus, and there's hopefully, as I said, the canal itself, as Anne-Marie said, we recognised the potential before it was built. We'd seen the plans for it. Obviously there's public consultation on it, and there was newspaper articles and all sorts. So we knew the potential was there, and I think that will bring people in itself. It is already bringing people to the town. What we're trying to do is work alongside that, and hopefully that will bring extra people to the town. That'll bring people of families of motorbikers, bikers themselves will arrive in the town specifically because of it. And also then, obviously, from our point of view, from the annual memorial, as we said before, that doesn't suit everybody on the one single night. But it may be a case that when this memorial, permanent national memorial, goes up, The people that say, well, you know what, it's worth going tonight. I'll make the extra effort to go tonight because I'll also visit the sculpture that has been erected in the town as well. So
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. As I said, as I said at the start, we made the trip up there this year. We went we made an effort to go up to the memorial mass, and the road in itself, although it might have been a little bit longer than we had anticipated. I dig it, Tony there.
Allegedly.
But it is fantastic, and the network of roads up there is just class.
Just get a few more filling stations built.
Yeah, so just
But I know what happened.
yeah. Charlie was panicking. He thought he was going to run out of juice, but we didn't. We got home and it was great.
Yeah.
But it is genuinely, like, as I say, aside from the memorial, which sounds like well, I know it's in good hands anyway, but it sounds like you're well and truly on the way there. But I would definitely urge people to get behind this. The submissions that are to be made on the county is vitally important. It really is important, because this, if nothing else, shows people like Monaghan County Council and the members of Monaghan County Council that are on the board obviously know your passion, both your passion and the wider committee's passion in getting this up and running. But I think it speaks volumes if they can jump on and they can see a couple of hundred submissions, do you know what I mean, from people all over, because again, you do put your address into it. So from people from all over the country to take the time to go on and fill it out, and to specify the suitable location is what's really going to open up things. Because so when this, at the end of this, when this closes, and I think I'm right in saying it's the 10th of November it's closing, would I be right in saying that? Yeah. So after that closes, what's the next step then after that?
well, next step after that, then the results will be collated by the independent consultancy firm that's dealing with it. We don't know how long that's going to take. Obviously, the more submissions it's in, the slower it is. We don't care. We'll wait.
Mhm.
We want submissions. We're very happy that it'll take an extra week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We really think it's important to show people the depth of feeling that this is the right site. This is the beautiful site, the beautiful piece of public art that will bring people back again. So we're happy. Get as many submissions in. It'll take whatever time it takes to get them. Every single one has to be read. Every single one has to be marked and kept, so that these results can be checked at any stage. So that'll all be done when it's done. When that is done, the first the Monaghan or Clonus Ballybay Municipal District meeting, the first one of them after the results are presented by the consultancy firm to the meeting, they will take a vote on it. So we're hoping that the numbers show very clearly that the councillors will look at that and go, well, look at it, as you say, a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers show that we need to just go with Park Fubble, Seamus McCabe.
Yes.
Once they vote for that, well, then we're back in business.
Back looking for artists.
We're back looking for artists.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. So so if once that's decided and then they vote on that and they go, right, there's no dispute, this is the location. So then it goes back to you're looking for artists again to design the piece and then commission the piece.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, so again, the road isn't finished yet. Look, when we get to that, we do come to another wee roundabout, which will be Part 8 planning, which is the County Council's planning department have to look at it, make sure there's no issues with, future development and roads and, no flooding issues and all that sort of stuff that goes on normally. So it's Part 8 planning. Again, that Part 8 planning comes back for a vote with the 5 councillors as well. So there is still a wee bit of officialdom to go through. But our main aim and what we think would be really helpful is when we get to that point is that they'll actually be looking at the garden and the sculpture that we want.
Yeah.
There's no more doubt in it. When it comes to Part 8 planning, it's not 3 sites with concept drawings on it. It's actually the design of the sculpture and the design of the garden that we want. And that's what you're looking at.
Okay. But then I suppose, look, without trying to jinx anything here, I know planning, I know from my own experience, it's never straightforward. But I suppose, by and large, you're not trying to get, the plans for the development of a, 6-story building. It is, it's
we always knew it was going to go to Part 8 planning. It was always going to go to Part 8 planning, at some stage, but we thought we might have a design, even the public consultation, we always knew a public consultation was going to happen along with Part 8, but we thought we'd have a design. It's nearly like...
Yeah.
It is a bit awkward at the minute
Yeah.
because you're doing a public consultation on concept drawings. Specifically, then concept drawings don't have a design for the sculpture. And the reason for that is quite simple, because you can't put anything into a concept drawing that looks like the sculpture we may want, because then that influences the artist when it comes to designing something.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, but I suppose, like, if you look at it in the sense that, and I'm not to make little of the sculpture itself, but it's not realistically, it's not about the sculpture. At the end of the day, it's about a place where people can come and pay the respects and reminisce, and get them, memories, of people that they've had that have lost off bikes. And I suppose that the sculpture is just the dot on the I suppose, or the cherry on the cake, So it's not going to be the make or break.
People to get together and, come together as the biking community.
Yeah.
And talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah, sorry, that was Charlie there. Just I thought he was asleep there. He said.
But the big thing there really is, again, it's something that we're lacking in Ireland is places to go, like for bikers. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So,
Yeah.
if bikers don't do it for themselves, no one else will.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Look, it's lovely to be able to go to a place, meet up with other bikers from different counties, whatever, have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Have a
talk is a huge thing. It is a huge. There is a whole other side to that. I suppose that we haven't spoke about that. Like, if you were going to the likes of a place like that, and you might be somebody that's very keeps to themselves, but sometimes you find yourself in a situation when you go and you are still grieving, and you go to a place like that and you talk to somebody else, and it just eases the whole grievancy process. I suppose there's a whole other side to it.
We've been getting for the last 22 odd years of the annual memorial. That's the feedback we're getting. And this is what we're trying to replicate, but replicate it in a way that people come and go when they want.
It's not just one night of the year.
Yeah.
A lot of the memorial itself, you've got, it's not just for bikers, it's for families. So there's a whole mix of people there. And it's when your family's there and the walk by people who then have known their sons or daughters in the biking community and can tell that family stories. They might be gone 20 years, they might be gone 15 years, they might be gone 7 months ago, but it uplifts that family. Do you know what I mean? And this is something that can happen randomly.
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree. Absolutely. And I suppose it's another way of keeping memories alive. Do you know what I mean? It forever. For people that have gone, whether it's a year ago or 20 years ago. To have a place there that does keeps these memories alive, and whereas people, even if they're only driving past it, and they know what it is. We
don't talk about people that has passed.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone.
Yeah, that's it.
When you meet up with other people, one man might have a different story. Like, he lost a friend. Oh, well, I lost a friend. And then you keep going and going. And everyone, and you're mentioning their names. You're keeping them alive. Simple as.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or even a simple one there now. Getting in the clubhouse here, we have a load of photographs up. And I was looking at a bike. We just walked out over 30 odd years ago. I was riding a bike and I was doing a burnout somewhere, and then we was having a job, just talking there. And sure, one of them that and that on for that, and sure, one of them is gone. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
That's just it. It just brings back memories.
Yeah. It's taken 750 and it originated England.
Yeah.
And Desi Revel from Wexford owned it.
Yeah.
Pee Wee Farrell owned it.
Yeah.
From Eton Derry. He brought it home then, and Jack Hammeridge, Lord Mersham, he bought it.
Yeah.
Tony bought it off Jack.
Yeah.
And Tony nearly lost his life off
that
it.
nearly polished me off,
Go away, yeah. You were going handy, of course.
He was.
Well, there was no legend. I was. I had a road an articulated truck, and they tend to win. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, definitely.
What I always called the Smidsy. Sorry, mate, I didn't see you. That's what I got in the truck there. As he was like, I was on the ground looking up, and he said, "I've never seen a bit. Yeah, you must have been speeding." And I said, "Well, which was it? If you didn't see me, how do you know if I was speeding or not?" Anyway.
Yeah. I used to go. When I was younger, there was a character who used to live up right across the road from us, and He's dead and gone since, but he used to have a tiny little Toyota Starlet, one of the real old 80s square ones, And another time you'd be going to the shop with him or whatever, and he was all of 8 years of age, and this tiny little Starlet, and be going down the road, and next thing he'd be coming meeting him, an animal of an Arctic with maybe a machine or something. He used to always nearly kind of swing the steering, and he'd say, "Move over," he says, "or I'll take the whole side out of you." And we used to be kind of saying, I think we'd end up a little bit worse, you know what I mean? But no, but getting back to that, of course, that you said, the whole idea of it is exactly as you say, with a memorial like that, it is a great way of preserving people's memories. Do you know what I mean? That have been lost, because let's face it, have a memorial card, we've all got presses at home with 100 memorial cards in it, but to have a designated area to go and think about someone that you've lost, like in fairness, like the Mass does, which is it's a great thing,
Yeah, and I think we probably mentioned the last time, one of the things that we not just hope to have, we will have on it is there'll be a QR code there'll be 2 QR codes within the site of this memorial yard. And one will bring you to services that are available, grief counselling services, local authority services for people that are dealing with accidents and all that. So that would be one. And the other then will be literally on the our Gone But Not Forgotten Bikers.net website. There is profiles of, there's the roll of honour of people who have died and are commemorated every year. Some of the families have done profiles. Anne-Marie is in charge of the website and updates that. And
yeah, they're like personal tributes. So we would have a photo and then a short bit about each biker that's on the website. And when the memorial garden is built, there'll be a QR code that you can just link in and get that person up on your phone, and
yeah.
their tribute or whatever. So, and it's currently been built. Like there's hundreds of names, and we have 100.
Yeah.
That's rolling every year. There's some of them coming in all of the time, so it's building and building and building, unfortunately.
I know. What a great idea. Do you know what I mean? That's a fantastic idea.
Personalized to your visit, should you want it.
Yeah. No, that's a great idea. It's I suppose a bit of a connection with the technology that is out there too. But that's a great idea that you can go on and through a QR code, and it brings it up and kind of refreshes the memory. And yeah, that's a fantastic. And in a suppose a kind of a weird way, I'm sure there's people, like if you were to go up to that and you were to look through some of the list, there's probably people on that list that we would have known and you kind of almost forget. Now, you know what I mean? Not in a bad way. Maybe not somebody that's been really close to you, but somebody that you had known at some stage, it's a great way of definitely keeping a memory alive anyway, 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what do we want people to do? So we want everyone to jump on to, as I say, Google Bikes Memorial in County Monaghan, and then that will bring you to the Monaghan County Council website.
Yeah.
Click on the link. You will have to register. As we said, takes 2 minutes. We're all going, I'm going to fucking make sure, I'm going to horsewhip these lads to make sure that, now if Cha can do it.
Please do.
If Cha can do it, I promise you, anybody can do it. And that's a fact. Without a shadow of a doubt. So it will get him to do it. It's very straightforward.
This consultation, there's a lot of work, hard work, effort, sleepless nights and everything has went into this, and it's like the most important 3 weeks of the project. So we need as many names in, we need as many submissions in to let these councillors know that this is what the people want.
Absolutely, 100%.
People, when they are doing it, the only sort of catch that some people are getting caught out when they are filling it out is the password. You have to make a password for yourself. Now, you're probably never going to use that password again, simply because you're going to do your submission and that's it, done. You've no reason to, really. But if you need to read the instructions as to what the password needs to contain. So it needs to contain the uppercase letter, lowercase letter. It needs to have 8 characters altogether, and it needs a number, and it needs a special character like a hashtag or a question mark or an exclamation mark. You need to put all them in, because if you don't do it, it just seems to keep putting you back to the start without you realising that you're going back to the start.
Absolutely.
So other than that, once you get through that point, it is, as you say, it's 2 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Just one thing to know on that as well, because it did catch me out as well, is when you go on and you're trying to give you the 3 options, and if it's option number 3 that we're advising people to, that it's the most suitable one. But on the other two options, so on the third option, you'll have to write in, just briefly why you believe it. And you can mention, of course, the amenities and the actual site itself and stuff. But also on the other two, you have to give a reason as to why you don't, because it won't let you proceed. You have to give a reason as to why they're not suitable. And yeah, exactly. It's as simple as that. So just that's one thing important. And genuinely, it takes 2 minutes. Very straightforward.
And if it's struggling, my details are on our website, on our social media. You can put it up with this on the link. I have no problem with people to talk them through it.
Lovely stuff. Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, might have to get Chad to give you a ring. I'll tell you, I might rethink things after that. Well, listen, come here. We're not going to hold you up anymore. I really, really appreciate you coming on. Keep up the great work. I know this has been a
labour of love. A
labour of love is what I was trying to think of there. Yeah,
wasn't you liar?
I was. I couldn't think of it. Tony be more skilled than I would. But no, I'm sure, to be fair, it is something that is, and it's easy for me to say we're not doing it, but it is going to be worth all the hard work and effort that you've put into it. And, we look forward to the day when we can go up there and spend a bit of time ourselves and meet you all in person and grab a cup of coffee and, look back on the work that you've put into it. So, hats off to you, fair play to you, and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.
Lads, thank you very much, and thanks for your help with the publicity of this. It's really important.
Anytime, absolutely any time. Keep us posted, won't you? And if there's anything else we can do in the background, just shoot us a message and let us know, and keep us updated. And we'll try our best to keep everybody else updated on what's going on.
Yeah, we'll keep mentioning it on the old podcast as well, just to refresh people's minds. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Perfect, lads. Go to meet them.
Thank you.
Lovely stuff, folks. Thanks very, very much, and we'll talk to you all soon. All right.
Night.
Not a bad. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Bye. And we're back, and that was Brian and Annie from the Gone But Not Forgotten Bikes Memorial. So as we all say, if you can all just jump on there, I know the sound bunch of people at his areas will jump on there and do that little bit of a submission. Say, Cha, you've it already done. I'm so fucking proud of you.
Yeah, well done.
Well,
hold on a second.
Mr. IT. Yeah.
I think we have one
Put
here.
your hands together.
Oh yeah. No, that didn't work. It's not working this time. I don't know. Broken. But anyway, yeah.
That's not good as my one. Remember the one I showed you the other day?
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't bring it.
It's actually in the Jeep there.
Oh, is it? Okay. Maybe it's this one I need to press, is it? Go on, the chat.
That's the one, more son.
No, so yeah, jump on and do that. So that'll be good. It'll be interesting to hear how they're getting on now in the future. We're going to keep
absolutely,
us posted and stuff. So it's all going to kick off. Before we went over to them, we were talking about all things motorbikes.
Motorbikes.
Correct and right.
We're talking
unusual now on a motorcycle podcast, isn't it?
It is a bit weird.
Yeah,
we're talking about the new Z1100.
He's getting good. He's getting good.
The SX.
Look, his boots are
model.
off.
But they kind of
now.
they put it against. They kind of were comparing it to the new Yamaha Tracer 9 GT.
All right, John.
They're deadly looking.
They are deadly looking, but then it's the GT model. I think in particular, there's no clutch. There's no option. There's no clutch. It's all. It's either
DCT.
It's either automatic or it's semi-automatic.
Yeah.
So they've got a little joystick up on the handlebars that you can flick up or down through the gears.
Yeah.
But the guys, and then there's all these different modes.
Like a flappy paddle gearbox type thing.
Yeah, kind of, I suppose. Yeah. You can flick up and flick down, you know what I mean? But then there's the different riding modes on it. And there's like D and D plus, and then there's 4 other ones then that are like for wet weather riding and so on
same
and
as
so
my
forth.
They're getting too
GSX.
technical.
GX.
Yeah,
Way too technical. Like, why can't it just be like the old times? Get up and ride the Jesus bike.
That just means Chad won't be able to work the
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's keyless. It's
It's just killing me now that they're making all this bullshit now.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Like you said, look, all the throttle control was how you twisted the throttle. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you know, and that's go back to even the racing. Like all the guys on the MotoGP, but it was the 500s. I mean, that was class racing, right?
Yeah.
Modern bikes now, I'll be honest with you, I just put in automatic because it does it all itself anyway.
So is your bike automatic? You can, or no?
No, not with gears, as in it have traction control, and it has the quick shifter up and down to the gears.
Yeah.
But with the modes A, B, and C,
Yeah.
A is like, so C is like it softens everything off your suspension. Your throttle control, it's a good twist of the throttle before it actually starts to pick up. I use that when I'm doing pre-tests because I just potter around behind someone. Do you know what I mean? Like 50k. greasy roads, whatever type of thing. B mode then is we'll call it road racing or road riding. We'll call it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, right. And then A mode is like banzai, mental, like, you know.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Are
but
they all preset, or can you customize them?
but no, that's what I'm about to say. So you can set the traction control on C mode, and it goes to like full traction control, really soft the suspension, really the throttle isn't as sensitive, right? And then go to B mode and up your traction control by out of 10 up to maybe 7 or 6 or whatever you want to do. Same with the suspension, the whole lot. And then obviously go to A mode. It gives you start dropping down your traction control. You can knock it off altogether if you want to.
Okay.
And it just gives you so many variables.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then just go to automatic and it does it all anyway.
Yeah,
So, you know what I mean?
I often wonder that too. Yeah, yeah. Well, they were kind of saying the guys that were kind of reviewing this bike were saying that they weren't a massive fan of some of the modes on it. That they were either too much one way or too much the other.
Well, I know that the one I have now. Sometimes just rest the hand on the throttle in A mode and Jesus, it'll catch you. It will catch you. You know, you're getting full power there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, sure, it's the same with the Gixxer, but
that's what it is. It's
and they've none of that old fancy
The only-
shit.
The only problem with your
it's all
Gixxer,
gone off
it's got one mode, on and off.
Well,
That's it.
That's mine's the
That's-
same. I like that. Two
yeah.
modes. You either turn it on or you turn it
Yeah,
off.
exactly.
The thing is, though, Brendan, you could work if it had 3 or 4 modes.
That is true. We did a lovely little spin on Monday, didn't we? We went into.
Indeed, and we did,
I
but
tell you, we went to Scannon's in Kinnegad for the breakfast.
all
And I
right.
have to say, it was top class.
yeah,
It was absolutely
it
top
was
class.
great breakfast.
And then we went to the plaza for a coffee.
Yeah.
And that was lovely. And then
And
we
you
went
come
to
down and say
Derry.
hello to me. I was running down the training ground there.
On Monday.
Yeah.
Never
Didn't
knew,
know.
never
Didn't know.
knew,
Didn't
never
know, didn't
knew.
know.
I was
Then we had
paddling around the rain. Jesus Christ.
It was bad.
We had
were
Same at the
laughing.
weekend now, but we were all down there with a good crew in at the weekend, and I just had visions of like a Hawaii 5-0. They're like rolling up and down the freaking training grounds. Yeah, but look,
Yeah, it was
the old
grand.
army saying there's no thing as bad weather, just the wrong clothing.
Absolutely,
That's it.
100%. Yeah, but we were just laughing. Like, we left at what time? About, I don't know, 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we went to Kinnegad and Eaton Derry, and I didn't get home till about 3:30.
It wasn't
Just
even near
standing
4 o'clock.
Was it just
Yeah.
sitting around talking
But
shit?
then,
and-
sure,
Yeah,
we
but
stopped
that's-
off at Jimmy Mangans and had a coffee. as
We
well.
did.
So, like, I mean, we done our old bit of,
We did.
you know.
We did.
You know.
It was nice to get out for a spin. It was lovely.
Sure, that's what it's all about.
And as I
yeah.
said before, that road, oh my God, that road from Eaton Derry to Kinnegad, I love it. It's just,
Yeah.
it's one of
Was
my-
it? Was it not covering? Because I was on that on.
There was parts of it already
Yeah,
covered
yeah.
in shite.
Covered
Yeah.
in shite, yeah.
Shite and shite
Yeah,
there on
but
Saturday.
that kind of makes it interesting too, though, because you have to pick your lane.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know?
Yeah.
Not when
Just
the whole,
adds-
not when the whole road is covered in shite.
No, it wasn't too bad. There was enough of a width of a wheel to just kind of get into the groove.
At one
It was
stage,
nice.
you know, in fairness, at one stage, now, Brent, tell the truth, the cheeks you're out were tight.
Well, now they
Because
were.
you thought you were going grass tracking.
Yeah, well, maybe to some degree.
Yeah.
You know
Maybe
what
to
I mean?
some
Now,
degree,
tell the
yeah.
truth.
As,
but-
as,
Yeah,
the,
well,
as the
well,
older members would remember, you say give your underpants the doorstep step challenge. Remember the doorstep challenge?
Yeah.
The your weights. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it was good. It was nice to get out. Look, it's nice to get out this time of year. Any day you get out, it's a kind of a bonus. in fairness, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It was
no,
nice to
it
get
was
out.
grand when we were going.
Mhm.
And as everybody knows, the Cha hates the rain.
He does.
But he has all the best rain.
Oh, shut up, you weren't even there. And we headed into Mangans then for the coffee. And the next minute, but thanks for James, we're only
Yeah.
literally
Sure.
2 minutes out the
You
road.
about mangans
Road.
and trips, but time to straight there's a up, you be home. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it's grand. Another thing there I did notice. So as I said, we were getting back to that. They were kind of comparing the boat, and for price wise, like the Tracer's about two or $2.5 grand more expensive, but they were
Right.
all raving about the 1100. They were just, it ticks all the boxes.
Yeah.
Reliability, price, functionality, all the modes on it, comfort.
What's this now, the SX?
The SX, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all
Well,
raving
no,
about it.
I've ridden the SX1000. Noel had
This the
got it.
1100 though.
No, yeah, the 1000 in
Oh yeah,
combo.
yeah,
And I find it's like, look, come here. It doesn't flow heavy, but he's bored.
yeah.
But by Jesus, I enjoyed the spin
But,
on it now.
and I'd love to see how Ross would get on that bike being how tall he is and the shape.
Yeah,
and
but
stuff
sure,
that
with
he
a
is.
29-inch leg, it'll suit him.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
man.
If you like a sail, though, the height, the longest part will be sticking up. Like. Yeah, well, I don't know.
Put a full windscreen on the fucker.
Yeah, well, we need to get down to Terence Healy's and start test riding some bikes.
Yeah, sure,
that's
Terence.
the next thing we want to do.
Terence is a pain in his arse.
I know,
saying
I
it to
know,
me,
no,
come
no,
down,
we will.
come down.
I'm
But
going
then
down
you
to
see,
him tomorrow.
down weather.
He's not using the phone correctly if he's doing that, so is he?
No, but down weather is going again.
I
The
know.
whole time.
I'm going down to him tomorrow. Cooper is he. I know you got him a voucher for Megabikes.
Megabikes, yeah.
But I'm going to bring him down to Terence Healy's tomorrow and see if we can get him a helmet. So we're going to go down and see what the story is and get him geared up because he's mad to come on the bike. Mad. And you know, I was gassed. We were out shopping the other day and somebody gave him €20 and he wanted, of course, as most childs, we wanted to spend it on shite. Do you know what I mean? And I just said to him, I says, but hold on now, we're going on Friday to get you a helmet. He's like, yeah, I know, but like I have a bit of money in my money box and all. And I says, yeah, but if you don't have enough money, there's no point in asking me, can you come on the bike with me? Because the answer's automatically going to be no, because you don't have the gear.
Yeah.
And then straight away he's like, right, no, fair enough. The 20 quid went back in the pocket.
Yeah.
So his priorities, he has his priorities right anyway.
Yeah.
Another one there that I was reading up on as well, and Eamon, who has one, he's not obviously here this evening, is the Bee King. Bee King were only made for 2 years.
All right. Yeah.
I believe. Was it 2 years? Am I right in saying that? 07 to 09?
Yeah.
They were a massive, massive flop. And that is the reason that they only were sold for 2 years. And the reason that it was such a flop was that in 2001, I think it was in the Paris Motorbike Show or something, they were first unveiled in 2001. But the original one came with a supercharger. Okay. That was the first one, the prototype, let's say, that had a supercharger. And then everybody was raving and talking about it. And then obviously it went back to R&D and whatever happened, it was released in 2007. And everybody couldn't wait for it to come out, thinking this was going to be one of the first bikes with a supercharger on it. And it wasn't. Obviously, it was the 1300 Hayabusa engine, which is a serious engine too. But it's the market sale wasn't there. They didn't buy them. That's why they only apparently done it for 2 years.
Well, apparently they handle really well as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But I, as I say, from riding the boozes, it was Jay Cummins actually. Jay had a Bee King, and I think actually Rory Ennis bought it off him after. I'm not sure, but I rode it. Jesus Christ, lovely bike and good handler.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Nice bike, yeah. Definitely a bike that's going to be worth money because they say, obviously, if they only made them for a couple of years, and don't quote me that, I think it was roughly around that time, but that's certainly the story I was reading.
Like at the end
their bike's going to be worth some money.
But it's a Booza engine. And Murray,
yeah, but don't let that turn you off.
Oh, shite.
Oh,
it's
he doesn't like that. You can't sneer the old Booza bikes.
You won't sneer the Booza. The Booza's the good joke.
The Booza's the good joke.
The old hedge abuser.
Yeah. Jazz one is, anyway.
Nobody called him a hedge abuser, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, no, that was an interesting one. There's a couple of nice other bikes coming out. And then I would buy that, the classic motorbike magazine.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you feel fucking old, man, when you buy it.
We are old.
Oh, yeah. And the new...
Yeah, we are old. But when you look at some of the bikes...
We're old.
Yeah, well, that's true. But when you look at some of the bikes that they're calling classics, XGR 1300s and stuff, and you're like, what? That's not a classic.
Classics,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's mad. Like, you look back, you go, fucking hell.
Yeah, sure, the old blades, Gixxer 11s, all them.
Do you know what was on it 2 months ago?
What?
The Phaser 1000.
What?
I swear to God, the Phaser 1000 was
Yeah,
on
sure, Ross has one of them.
I know, yeah.
Ancient.
Well, he's most
a bit of a one.
He's most
a bit of a one.
Most of it, yeah.
There's a little bit of it somewhere up around the M1, and the rest is anyone's guess. We just don't know.
But anyway, I want to tell you too. Do you know the new GSX-R 1000?
Yeah.
They're actually a triple R. The new GSX-R.
That like a is it?
Yeah, I know, but no, they're a triple R.
Yeah.
Instead of the RR, they're a triple R. Yeah.
And do you want to know another interesting
fact? They're coming
fact?
out next July.
And do you want to know another interesting fact about them?
Right, what about?
They are lower in brake horsepower than the previous model.
Are not.
They aren't.
Are they?
They are, lad. I can't exactly remember the exact numbers, but they're a lower horsepower. See, they're all having to form to these Euro 5 emissions. So that's what it's all essentially doing. They're kind of slightly gearing it differently, that the engine doesn't rev as high. Like, I know the Z1000 revs to 11 and the newer one is the 10.5. So there are little subtle ways like that. That's how we're doing it.
Yeah, but sure, then just bring it up to Gary in motor tuning.
Look,
He'll tell you one thing, she'll red line up the road. Away with you.
But most bikes now, again, because of decibels and emissions and all that, the first thing you do is power commander or map it and an exhaust system, and bang, you're back up there anyway. You know?
Absolutely, Tony.
For sure, yeah. It'll be an awful heap of standard GSX-R 1000 exhaust systems.
I can imagine so.
Just dumped on the side of the road there.
Just fired on the side of the road. Hammond Lane will have a lorry full of them.
Here, while we're running now, I'm not going ranting now. I am not going ranting.
Jesus.
But what do you
get his orange box there, will you?
What do you think of
on it.
what do you think of the bullshit now with the fucking number plate crack?
Yeah.
Boys.
What? On the spot fine.
On the spot fine, 60 euro. See, this
your number plate, if you don't have a standard, your original number plate or whatever, 60 euro on the spot fine.
Yeah.
What's counts as standard?
It's just more money now.
Square,
for the
ugly, horrible.
But me being me, right? The Gardaí are sending you a summons in the post with your registration. Yeah, because they say they can't read your registration.
That is very true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Well, then if you're how you said, you know what I mean?
That is very true.
Yeah, but she's Tony.
And I would argue the fact that if the fucking speed camera can get you, then it's a proper edge.
Yeah, no, lads, you're missing the point. It's just another money fucking spinner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it is, lads.
No, it is, of course. Yeah, I know. And they're increasing the tolls as well and stuff. They're smart about that.
Tolls are going up 10 cent and 20 cent.
I don't know. Them 50 or I don't know. Them 50.
All the tolls.
They're all going up.
All of them.
Yeah.
But the bikes are not.
Are they not?
No, not the bikes.
Did you know that a motorbike, the way the barrier comes down, there's a bit of a gap?
Yeah.
There's actually enough room there for a bike. I'm joking.
Allegedly.
No, I'm joking. But I'd say it probably would if you tried it.
Look.
Yeah. You were grand anyway. You could stay up on the bike and you still go underneath.
Absolutely.
You were grand.
The head down and out. Hey.
Tiny over there, playing fucking out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tiny.
He pulled the tall bridge with him, let alone the barrier.
100%, yeah. We were I was looking up a few other bits and pieces, but we have to book our tickets to the bike show in Birmingham.
Yes.
We need to get that booked. We're going to go over that morning and have a bit of a look around and come back that evening. I think that's the plan of attack because certain lads lost run themselves last year when they went over there.
Allegedly.
So
allegedly.
Well, what happens at the NEC stays at the NEC.
I don't
until it shows up on your bank account statement.
You can laugh all you want. The child wasn't with you. I was in hospital.
No, great time.
That's why it was such. There was no, no one was giving out. Everybody was on a good farm.
Oh, shut your mouth.
No one's had brought their knitting out, right?
Absolutely, 110%, yeah.
Didn't have to help anyone with how do I check in here? Is this my hotel?
Well, Kieran was with us, so there was still a little bit of that. A little bit of that, to be fair. But by and large, it was only 50%, so no, it was good. But we are booking it, so if anybody's heading over, let us know. I'm sure we'll all tee up. I'm sure we'll have a bit of crack. I'm looking forward. There's a couple of things I'm looking forward to see. I wonder, will they have the new Gixxer on display then?
Probably would.
Sure, they probably will. Yeah. I would like to see that now.
Well, they mightn't.
I'd say they will.
Well, unless now the prototype one made, but all I know is they're not.
I'm pretty sure they do.
They're not starting to make them till the new year.
See the new KTM.
Yeah, but they would have for that to be built or to have it for production for the road. They have that from last year.
Have they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's the 2024 one, and they're bringing it up as a brand new one. Now.
Yeah, well, all the modifications would have been. I mean, they don't just pull it out of arse in a week.
Can't win with them.
You know what I mean?
Did you see the new KTM? It's like the new. Is it the new RC8? Is it an 890 or something? I was looking at it on Bike World TV, and I just said to myself, that guy, I can't think of what his name is, but he's good. He's one of the reporters for Bike World TV. He's got a ponytail now, but he's the best job in the world, man. Yeah. They were doing like a press launch and stuff, and he was over and he got to ride it around, and then they brought it and they hired out a track for the day and had him and like 6 other journalists and stuff out, and they actually had a race, the whole lot of them. I just said to myself, man, that's fucking class.
No. You say, come here, you're not living. Tiny. Remember all the videos years ago we got the boys out testing the booze, the Zs at R11 and all that.
Oh, yeah.
For them. That was the job.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me. They used to go across France and Spain.
Yeah, but this lad does the same, like.
Yeah. Shaky Byrne actually was part of that crew, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's how he was told. Like, I remember him. They just on spec. They just stop on the side of the road, and lads were popping wheelies all the time, and he was popping wheelies. And that's how long I used on VHS. I have the videos at home. Shane Byrne, you know, he was young at the time, you know what I mean? And I remember the boys were doing burnouts and wheelies and all that, and this self will come in. As usual, you know, I have a sick woman in there now, lads. When are you going to be finishing all this? You know, this type of stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, and about your man's name, Jamie or something was his man's name. He was always writing off bikes anyway.
Cool.
So it was a launch of the ZX9 in France. So he was a Magna Course, is that what it is?
Yeah.
And he made bits of one of them, do you know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus
And
Christ.
the top man from Kawasaki walks in, do you know what I mean? That designed this bike and all. He goes, "Are you okay? Yeah, you okay? Ah, yeah, I'm okay, yeah." He says, by the way, he says, can I have another one?
As simple as that. No remorse showed whatsoever at all.
What was that? Motorcycle News. It was Motorcycle News, wasn't it? Yeah.
I don't know. You
for the
videos and fast bikes.
Fast bikes.
That's what
I remember it just on your saying that this is completely off topic, but I remember you're saying about the man saying that his woman had to go to a sick woman and the whole lot. But we were down in college down in Cork, and a few years ago, and as you would, we were of course sitting outside after having a haber drink in the housing estate, and the neighbour, he was a real prick anyway, but it was late enough anyway, and he stuck his head out the window and started shouting at us. And one of the lads, he's as quick as fuck, but he started shouting. He said, lads, what the fuck do you think is right? He says, do you realise I have to be up, he says, for work at 3 o'clock in the morning? And one of the lads, as quick as light, and he says, well, Jez, he says, you'd want to be going to bed, so. In other words, so cute. But that's off topic. But that is the dream job. Maybe if this podcast keeps going the way it's going, maybe that's what our full-time job will be. Maybe we'll get called to go over and test
people
bikes.
just want to lend us bikes. Take a bike.
We'd be
Anybody.
definitely keen for that.
all bike shops out there contact Clonagale to go test spinning.
Test spinning.
We'll give you the proper readout on what we think.
Sales may go
sales
down.
will go up.
Well, they may not.
Oh no, they'll go up. Once the clan buys are riding them, they'll go up.
Yeah.
Because everyone
Bring the old step ladder from so I get up top.
No, you're all right, bud. I bring the 2-step ladder on my back. You're all right.
Yeah. Interesting one that they say the KTM is in. So it's interesting to see what's coming out. That's the one thing I do like about going to the NEC bike show. It's just kind of seeing what's coming up.
What's coming up, yeah.
Yeah, in hindsight, you know, I'll be thinking 20 years down the line I might be able to afford one of them. But it is nice to see.
Go away. You know what I mean? Jeez, he's back to the same shite.
That's shocking.
Yeah. Well, I will be in the market for next year for a new bike anyway. So I'll see.
But Tony, you're honest.
No need to brag about
honest. Doodle sits up there bullshit. And he can well afford a brand new bike. Only he will not spend.
Oh, stop.
He thinks there's...
Any truth in the room where he dropped a penny and bent down to hit it, went to pick it up and hit him in the back of the head.
Absolutely.
No.
And then when he looked around, there was a tenner.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Money's following him.
He's more bikes out there than Terence Healy.
There was that one about the two cars.
No, I don't know how many of them run. But
very few.
I'll put it this way, they're all running. Let me tell you, bud. Every one of them. I don't buy shite.
Two Cavan farmers and one walks into the fella's house and your man's stripping the wallpaper. He says, "Big God, big, see you're decorating. No, see you're moving."
Classic. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, man,
Calvin.
Allegedly.
Yeah. But so no, we're going to head over there. We'll get the flights booked now shortly and tip over to that. It's kind of getting to that kind of weird time of year where like the bikes are dying off and a lot of the meetups and stuff are dying off and stuff. And
it's not the weather.
It's the weather, of course. Yeah, exactly. So I love the way the NEC is when it is. Because it's just right on the run up to Christmas, so you can do the old shopping list. And do you know what I'm actually genuinely thinking of getting? The airbag vest.
Oh, the vest, yeah.
Yeah, all those have them.
Have you got them?
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Highly recommend.
I like the one that just goes over your jacket. Do you know what I mean? Did yours go over your jacket or
under.
It goes under the jacket? Is it?
Yeah.
So I don't know what size of a jacket I'd need now. I've had to put one under. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, it's if you wear a back protector anyway. You know, it's just no different than wearing it because again, the actual front of the jacket, the airbag, it's not that thick at all. You know what I mean? It would be obviously inflated, but
what one do you use? Klim one, is it?
It's a Klim one we have. Yeah.
Do you pay a subscription on that?
It's 90 quid. I think it was 90 quid a month. A year. But basically, you know what I mean. If if it deploys, you know, you can have it linked to your phone. They'll ring the phone, no answer. you know, the
Very
GPS is built into it and all that. Do you know what I mean?
How much was it to buy? Do you maybe can you remember?
Oh, jeez, it's 300 and something quid.
That's
too
not
bad.
bad. Like to
Yeah.
be fair, that's not 90 quid a year. Like in fairness,
Yeah.
that's fucking.
Well, I always advise students, and look, you can't get down to Tesco and get a new spine for $9.99. Do you know what I mean? So,
Oh, they're about
100%.
25 quid in Lidl though. At the moment.
yeah, in the middle aisle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
middle
yeah.
aisle.
do you remember though? Do you remember a couple of years ago? I mean, my God, the boots I had out, and the toe slider was on top of the boot, on top of the toe, like.
Yeah.
You know, I think, my God.
What, Lidl?
It wasn't on the side of the boot where it should be. It should be right beside your little toe.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
No, we'll go to the middle toe. About there is where we're stuck on the boot. Like, you know.
So they kind of looked at a steel toe boot and a motorcycle
Yeah.
boot and just said, they're
Half
both
and
the
half,
same.
yeah,
Like.
yeah.
Yeah, they had a few left over and they just converted them.
Yeah.
That's what it was, yeah. But no, I'm genuinely thinking of getting one. Somebody, so we were talking. Oh, one of the girls from Motorbike Women in Ireland had one, and I was just chatting to her about it. So I think it's good. Oh, I have to give a massive shout out as well.
Oh.
Davina was over.
Oh, the
in
wheelie school. Yeah.
Wheelie School. Davina has been well, she wasn't on the podcast, but she's been here with us a couple of times, and she was over in the UK at last weekend doing the Wheelie School, and she absolutely
Yeah.
fucking minced it. She's class.
Yeah.
Like she was proper getting the front wheel up. So I have to give her a fucking massive shout out. Legend.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so that's another thing I'd love to do maybe next year as well. Go over and do the old Wheelie School. That'd be good.
Yeah,
crack.
yeah.
That'd be right bit of crack, you know. But that's the story for this week, boys. Episode 57. I think we better wrap it up. Anybody else, and you want to get off your chest now, Chad, before I officially end the podcast?
No, next week's 58.
Next week is
That's it.
58. Next week, 58, guys, is a big one. And I'm 99.9% sure, and I can't believe we're saying this, but a lad I'm absolutely dying to get on the podcast, the one and only, the British Super Sport champion himself, Rhys Irwin, is going to be on the podcast next week.
Yeah.
Yep. So get your questions in for Rhys, and we're looking forward to having him on. And it's
Yeah,
going to
that should be a bit of crack. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that'll be it for episode 58.
Is that the fella that rides the bike?
No, he paints houses, this fella.
Ah, right. I know that fella.
You know the lad.
Yeah,
now,
he goes
Chad.
up the ladder.
Yes.
Yes, I know him.
Same thing, you
yeah.
need to get into the bed.
I've news for you, McQuaid.
Nice.
If you work in the bed, you sleep on the floor.
As Jeremy Clarkson says on that bombshell. See you all next week, folks, for episode 58.